Hi everyone, Mugi here. Good evening and welcome to yet another Wednesday night with me, your host Mugi from Price International based here in Malaysia, joined today by our guest for the day, Mr. Andrew Ma. Andrew, I see you. How are you doing?
I'm
Nice to
fine,
see you
thank
and
you,
I'm
sir.
looking forward to your sharing as well. And to everyone else in this call, hello and welcome. It is so nice to see all of you. If you can turn on your camera and join me as a real human being, that would be cool. But if you don't want to, if you're a bit shy, I understand. Let's see where people are calling in from. Hello, make it happen. How's it going, sir? It's such a pleasure to see you in every call. Nice to see you. We have some familiar names. We have some familiar faces with us. We have we have a lot of people that have been joining us in every call. So today, for those of you who are joining us for the first time, let me kind of give you guys a brief overview of what we are here to do. Oops, I did not mean to do that. All right, there we go. So, firstly, welcome everyone. Hi, Eviliana. So nice to have you here in our call. Hi to everyone. So nice to have all of you in this call. My name is Mugi, and we are here to talk about the iTeraCare. We are here to talk about the device that has brought Prive International from a small company in Cheras to an organization that now has a presence in more than 80 countries and regions worldwide in all six continents. And almost all of it is based on the product that I am going to present to you about today. So, in case you are dialing in and someone sent you this link and you're hearing this for the first time, congratulations. I'm happy someone sent you this link. Obviously, someone cares about you. They care about you enough for you to know about the device that I'm going to talk to you about today. So, Prive International is an organization that began in Malaysia in the year 2021, and it is entirely because we had at that time gotten the sole global distributorship rights to market this device that you are about to see on your screen right now. The Prive International iTeraCare. So this is a device that has helped a lot of people around the world. And if you're tuning into this call, it is probably because someone thought it can help you as well. So first off, this is not a medical device. This is not a device that is designed to treat, cure, or diagnose any specific diseases. It is not a device that you will use as a medical thing for a medical reason. It also most probably wouldn't be recommended by your doctor for a disease. But what it is that this is one of the newest ways that you can change the wellness of your body by using frequency and heat to manipulate parts of your body. So, what are the direct effects that someone will feel, or more rather, like what is the thing this device has the fastest effect on? Well, what you are hearing, what you are seeing on screen is in fact not really something that is a health disease that people have, but it is fundamentally a daily wellness issue that everyone deals with, right? Like people with tight shoulders or backs after long days, people who have tired hands or feet, people who are dealing with everyday wellness that makes movement feel less comfortable, people who are looking for a new way for them to feel comfortable to support their aging process, either for themselves or to anyone that they talk to. So this is a device that can help you do all of that. And the reason is because this is a device that emits two things. Number one, it emits heat in a focused way. The amount of heat that it emits is regulated to be a heat that is comfortable for the human body. And at the same time, it also emits tera frequencies in the terahertz range. I'm going to be talking about the both of that, but also we're going to be looking at what is the point of the terahertz frequency, what it does in the human body, and how we can think about the device in terms of different perspectives. But before we get into the different perspectives, in a baseline way, number one, device is not recommended for any woman who is like pregnant or menstruating, even though uh it can help with you if you are, for example, sorry, just muting people. Like, for example, we've had a lot of user experiences who report that for women who are dealing with cramping, this device can bring a certain amount of comfort, but it's not designed to be used by pregnant women or by menstruating women because the heat and the frequency improves flow in the body. At the same time, if you have anything that is artificial and is not that you were not born with, implanted inside your body, don't use it directly over that part. Whether it's like a heart stent or like a lens implanted in the eye or like open wounds or fractured bones, or even like if you have anything implanted in your body, don't use it directly over that object. And if you have any kind of open wounds or fractured bones, don't use it directly over that part. But fundamentally, this is a device that emits warmth and terahertz frequency. So before I get into the terahertz frequency side of it, let's look at warmth. The point of a device that is emitting warmth at the comfortable uh, heat range for the human body is that warmth is one of the most natural ways that the body feels soothed and support. When you use the iTeraCare on your body, you are pointing a targeted blast of warm air at wherever you point it. And that provides a lot of comfort to the area. So if you're dealing with any kind of like discomfort or tightness, the warmth helps to really relax that part of the body. It also gives you like an improvement in your local circulation. At the same time, it also makes you feel relaxed and more comfortable. But the thing is, this is the immediate thing that you feel. It's the immediate experience. But it is not the only thing that this device emits. Because if all it took for you to feel better, for you to hear the kind of testimonials and stories and sharing that you have heard about this device enough that someone's recommending it to you, it's not only because of the warmth. Because even a hairdryer can emit focused warmth. What this device also emits is the terahertz frequency. So the terahertz frequency is a natural part of the electromagnetic spectrum, and it exists between like microwaves and infrared. And the reason why this is the frequency that people have been working with for wellness is because number one, this is a non-ionizing and safe frequency. It has been used in many scientific and wellness fields. And for you to kind of like look at that, what I do suggest that a lot of people do is like don't necessarily take my words for it. You can kind of like Google it yourself. Like for example, if you just search for terahertz health benefits research paper, you can look at all of the different kinds of research that exists out there. Here, let me like make this super bigger for you. Okay, there we go. So you can look at all of the research out there that exists where people in the scientific community have been exploring the benefits of this frequency range. This frequency range has been looked at for a lot of like, according to this PubMed article, neurological and pain research, tissue and water sensitivity, because terahertz waves are strongly absorbed by water, and if you look at a lot of the studies that have come out, a lot of them have come out very recently in 2023, 2026, 2021, and so on, 2017, 2023, 2021, 2024, 2025. You get the idea. So the benefit of this frequency range is one of the most cutting edge in the scientific research into human wellness and our body. The reason why this frequency range has been selected is because, like I said, it's non-ionizing and safe, meaning when you point this device that emits this frequency at your body, it does not impact or damage the cells in any way. It also interacts very strongly with water, where the frequency is absorbed by the water in our cells. the frequency is able to penetrate into the skin surface, which is why it has the effect in the meridian points and the meridian channels that I'm going to talk about shortly. And at the same time, when you combine it with warmth, it creates like an immediate like relaxation of the area that allows the terahertz frequency to further able to stimulate those meridian channels. So this is a device that is not like a magic device that is not emitting any kind of magic rays. It's just emitting the specific frequency along with heat. So this frequency range or the research into this terahertz frequency range actually started in 2013. And one of the key researchers behind it is this man, Professor Yang Wenjun in China. So the research and interest into this frequency range that apparently so obviously has a beneficial effect on the human body began in 2013. And in 2014, he developed a prototype early home use terahertz emitting device that he called the lightweight wellness device. And in 2015, he formed his own company to do the research into these terahertz emitters, which is called the Deshan brand. And in 2021, when Pripe was founded, he exclusively partnered with Pripe International for global market expansion. So this device, like I said, is not a magic device, right? It's part of a method. So I'm going to get into a bit more about how the device works. But before I get too much into it, let me give you like a really simple analogy to think about it. So you can think of this device like a treadmill or like an exercise machine that you buy for you to use at home. Let's say like a exercise bicycle, right? Like an exercise cycle. So you can spend thousands of dollars on really high-tech, expensive exercise machines like treadmills. But if you don't use them every day for what 30 to 40 minutes every day, then you know that they're not going to have that effect that you bought them for, right? Because what the device is just part of the method. It is a tool that when you use the treadmill every day, it improves the blood flow in your body, it improves circulation in your body, it gives your body a workout, and doing that every day is what actually makes the treadmill money worth spending. The iTeraCare is the same way. This is a device that emits terahertz frequency and heat, and when you use it on your body, it has a relaxing effect on your body. It improves like circulation in your body. It has a effect of stimulating meridian points that I'm going to talk about shortly in your body. And the how you get the full benefit of this device it's not by waving it for a second here or a second there or just randomly. It's by using it consistently for about 20 to 30 minutes each time and using it for at least about 2 to 3 weeks until you've had that significant improvement in the flow in your body. That is what gives you the results that you see. So using this device successfully involves understanding that it works with the water in your body because terahertz frequencies are absorbed by water in your body, by the water in your fascia. Another thing we'll talk about. So to drink that, to keep it at a safe distance, but to keep it moving, to keep it constantly at the points that I'm about to show you, to use it for 2 to 3 minutes per area for a full routine of about 20 to 30 minutes and the simplest, easiest way to do this is just to use it at these 10 points on your body for 2 to 3 minutes. So all you got to do to experience the effects of the iTeraCare is to use it at these 10 points of your body. Uh, you can follow this routine. You can you make other ways of doing it, but just at these 10 points of your body, use it for 2 to 3 minutes at each point of your body for about 20 to 30 minutes each time. And that's all you need to do. And you start to see the significant effects of using this device after about 2 to 3 weeks of using it. So there are three ways to understand why this device does what it does. Uh, Firstly, the physical effect of using this device on your body is immediate. It provides warmth to your body. The terahertz frequency penetrates into your body, is absorbed by the water in your body. Using it for about 20 to 30 minutes relaxes that part of your body. And if you have any kind of tight muscles, sore muscles, any kind of soreness or anything at all related to that, using it for 20 to 30 minutes will make that discomfort go away. Like it's a device that can prove its value within the first day of you using it. At the same time, understanding why this device does what it does also involves knowing a bit of TCM. And I kind of want to get into that a little bit today. And also at the same time, it involves knowing a little bit about your fascia and how that works and why it has the effect that it does. So if you'll allow me to segue a little bit, I am going to run through TCM not in 30 minutes, but in 10. So all you have to understand from the perspective of traditional Chinese medicine is that this understanding of the human body came out before we had the benefit of like using technology to look deeper, right? Before you could look deeper into your cells, into your blood to see what they're made of. People still had to work with the body and heal the body. So what they started doing was like putting what's the word? Putting like patterns together into groups to see when people have issues, how are they clustered together. So TCM didn't have like the modern understanding of the body where you have, for example, like specific organs that excrete specific chemicals, specific hormones, etc., that do specific things. TCM instead looked at the body from a more generic perspective, where it saw that the human body, where some people seem to have vital energy and some people didn't. Where some people seem to have something that's flowing in their body, and whatever that's flowing in their body is actually making them feel good and high energy. So, whatever it is that people have in their body is making them active, is making them feel good. So, they call this theoretical energy chi. At the same time, they realized that people had different kind of fluids in their body, and they had different kind of seasons in their body too. And understanding the human body is not one specific thing or another specific thing. It is in fact a balance of many things that that has like a flow within the body. And a lot of the problems that people face, in fact, can be understood by looking at it from a imbalance in the flow of the body. The basic thing that everyone knows is, for example, the balance between yin and yang, which is like a warm energy and a cold energy, like the balance between the different aspects of your life and like the different substance or the different transformations within you. And you can also look at the body as a and you can also look at the body as a place where this flow needs to be balanced. And when you don't have a balance in that, that's when you start to fall sick. So if you were to fall sick, or if you were to have any kind of discomfort or any kind of issue going on with your body, and you go to a traditional Chinese medicine doctor, this is what he's going to do. He's going to ask you a lot of questions to kind of diagnose you so he can see whether the problem you have is something interior, exterior, hot or cold. By the way, kitten. Okay. So he's going to look at whether the problem you have is interior or exterior, hot or cold, if it's related to what kind of imbalance. And then he's going to start to put the imbalance into understanding how it is affecting the flow of what needs to flow in your body, whether there is some kind of vital energy flowing in your body that is stagnant or deficient, and how he can unlock that again. And how he would understand that is by looking at how you feel and kind of like getting the vibe of what you're feeling, even though these might not be like medical diagnoses that are specific, it's just a way of understanding the human body. And once you understand what's going on in the human body, and then the TCM doctor that you're going to meet is going to understand what are the parts of your body that are not flowing well, and is going to start putting it together and start to treat your body using the concepts of TCM. And how TCM or traditional Chinese medicine explains the body is that instead of looking at the body from the perspective of individual organs, individual specific parts of the body that do this job or that job, like the stomach digests, the heart pumps blood, the lung does the breathing stuff. Instead of looking at it like that, they instead looked at it as a place where this vital energy flows. And the vital energy flows through specific meridian channels in your body that have the effect of that we are looking for. For example, the act of breathing or everything that is related to your breathing is not just contained in within your lungs. It is in fact a flow that goes through the lung meridian channel, which goes from the top of your body to the bottom of your body. And when you have issues like respiratory issues, low immunity, shortness of breath, or skin problems, etc., what this is showing that within that even though all of these indicate respiratory issues, it's not contained to one organ. There is a blockage within this highway that crosses like all of these parts of your body and that touches 365 different acupuncture points in your body. And therefore, the acupuncture doctor will use a combination of heat and needles to poke just under the skin and stimulate those points to create a flow of this vital energy in that part of the body that flows through these meridian channels. So whether you're dealing with issues related to breathing, digestion, etc., all of these don't necessarily point to one organ, but they point to a combination of different parts of the body that all actually come together to do the job. For example, lower back pain, weak knees, fatigue, or urinary issues may seem on the surface like different symptoms, but they all point to a blockage in your kidney meridian channel. And similarly, like these issues point to different blockages in different meridian channels. So whether you're looking at the flow of chi energy in your body or the two extraordinary meridians that control your yin and yang energy, to get all of this flowing well and in balance, you work on these acupuncture points. And the thing is, I don't think I can give any of you just a bunch of needles and tell you to go ahead and start poking yourself as much as you can ask ChatGPT about the exact location of meridian points in your body, right? This is a knowledge. The people who do these acupuncture treatments for you, they have learned where these points are, and therefore they can confidently take needles and poke you at that point. But where the iTeraCare comes in as a truly revolutionary device is that what Professor Yang Wengjun figured out is that when you point that terahertz frequency at these parts of the body, what we are doing is, in fact, because the frequency is wide, we don't need to know where that specific meridian point is. When you point it at the body, it is stimulating all of the meridian points that are at that point of the body. So, what the acupuncture doctor does with specific knowledge and detail, because he is, may I remind you, sticking needles into you. You can do this at home with a device that uses frequency to just externally stimulate that meridian point so that you can work on your own body using frequency. So when we talk about using this device at these 10 points of your body, the reason why we have these default 10 points is because they in fact get into they have an effect on many different meridian points. So when you spend 2 to 3 minutes at each of these different meridian points, for example, at the palm, you are in fact working on your heart meridian, the pericardium, the triple energizer. When you work on the soles of the feet, you're working on the kidney meridian, the spleen meridian, the liver meridian, and so on. When you use it entirely on your body in these 10 different points, you are in fact stimulating all of the parts of your body that an acupuncture doctor would stimulate, and therefore you are helping your whole body unlock the flow of this vital energy, and that's what gets your body to work again. If you had gone to an acupuncture doctor, this is what he would have done to make you feel better, and he would have still asked you to come for multiple different sessions and charged you money for it. You would have paid an amount for it. You would probably feel better if you had gone through the entire session. And after that, if your wife is having a problem or your children are having problem and you go back to the same doctor, you need to pay a whole new amount to get a whole new treatment. But instead, the iTeraCare works more like a washing machine that you pay money for one time. And then when you pay money for one time, it automatically just is there for you to use all the time. So when you buy the iTeraCare, you can use it as a treatment for yourself, use it every day for your health maintenance, or just use it when you need it, or when someone else needs it, they can use it too. It can go into the same drawer that you keep the Panadol and the oil that you use every time you get a headache. It can be a home wellness treatment. In fact, before every single time you would take Panadol, before you take it, if you just take the iTeraCare and use it over whatever part of your body that's giving you a problem for about 15 to 20 minutes, 4 out of 5 times they're going to feel better. So that's 4 out of 5 times you don't need to take a Panadol. But you don't only need to understand this device from a traditional Chinese medicine perspective. Like there is a understanding of how the body works. In these modern times, there's been a lot of talk about the fascia. Hang on. Whoopsie daisy. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Sorry, my kitten is attacking my keyboard. There we go. All right. Okay. So you don't only need to understand the body from the perspective of oops, which way is this word? Of traditional Chinese medicine. You can also look at the body from the perspective of like the fascia. So what the fascia is something that we are only starting to understand that exists within the human body. I don't think having a fascia is something that's well understood in the past. And what this is just a network. The body, every single human body contains this continuous connective network that surrounds, supports, and links all of these different muscles, joints, organs, and other structures together throughout your entire body. So this forms like a continuous network that, in fact, this is what is providing structure and support and connecting everything to everything. So if you've ever wondered why your organs don't just fall down because of gravity and all pull up at your feet, it's because the fascia is what is holding it up. So the fascia is the fascia contains of many different layers, and these layers are all hydrated by water that's inside your body that is in fact not regular water, but a specific kind of structured water. So when your fascia is well hydrated, that's when your body is able to stretch and glide, and you are in full physical comfort because your body is just well hydrated and everything is moving and everything is connected together. If you've ever felt like strange tension in your back, in your shoulders, in your hips, etc., all of that is because your fascia is not hydrated. The water is not structured in your fascia, and therefore, as a result, your fascia is tense and restricted, and that's what makes you feel like tight or less mobile. So when your fascia is well hydrated, your posture is supported, your structures are protected, the forces you transmit in your body are sent out. That's why a lot of like Tai Chi and like old style practices of the body involve swinging your arms that kind of like has the elastic effect of like resetting your fascia, and all of this only works if your fascia is truly hydrated. So when you use the device on your body, when you use the iTeraCare, the combination of the heat that the device is emitting is helping to relax your muscles. It is having a direct effect on the blood flowing at that part of the body. And at the same time, the fascia is also like when because the terahertz frequency is strongly absorbed by water, that's why when you use oops, sorry. That's why when you use the device on your so that's why when you use the device on water, it has the ability to structure the water. So because the terahertz frequency is strongly absorbed by water. So when you use the device on your body, from the understanding that your body has a fascia that needs to be hydrated with structured water, and what you're doing is, in fact, you are structuring the water, I suppose, in your fascia, and that is also what helps to have the effect of like this deep calm and relaxation and like a greater supporting of your body's physical capacity to move and to be in like a less discomfort state. So you can, whatever perspective you look at it, whether you want to understand it from the perspective of blood flow and what's happening in your muscles and what's happening with your stem cells with the terahertz frequency, or you want to look at it from the perspective of TCM, chi flow through your meridian channels, or from the perspective of your fascia of the net of this network that connects your entire body and hydrating your fascia, it actually doesn't matter. What truly matters is someone using it consistently for about 20 to 30 minutes per session, ideally, and to use it for about 2 to 3 weeks. And the best way to understand this device is not to talk about the science or to think about any of that, but to just experience this device. So if you are here because someone sent you this link, get back in touch with them and just ask for a free session. They'll be more than happy to come and provide it to you. And when they do, just tell them what you're dealing with. Hey, my knee hurts. Hey, my back hurts. Hey, my shoulders are really tight. Hey, my neck feels really stiff. Like whatever problem you have, tell it to them. And when they use their device on that part of the body for about 20 to 30 minutes, like you can try it. A problem that you've dealt with for many, many, many years can just go away in a single treatment. But going away in a single treatment is what makes the change lasting because your body is still your body, right? Everything takes time. When you make that stiffness go away today, you'll feel good, but you can still go to sleep, wake up, and tomorrow wake up with the stiffness back because we haven't fully dealt with the underlying reason. So keep using it. Some people deal with like a learning curve in their body getting used to it. For example, like I have like congested lungs, and every time I use it on my lungs, the next 2, 3 days, I'm hacking up a constant amount of phlegm, and it's very uncomfortable. And sometimes I just stop using the device and then I stop feeling it. But the thing is, what's like the device isn't creating congestion in my lungs, right? What's coming out is the mucus that is in my lungs. So it needs to come out. So a lot of people, when they use, if they use it for bodily discomfort, they might find that they have like extra discomfort, like within the first few days. If you're using it to like clear congestion, you may feel like more of it coming up. The trick is to just work it with your body and to keep using it and to use it either at the points that you have a problem with or just generally at these 10 points, or ideally both. Do the 10 points and then do another 10 minutes or 15 minutes at whatever part of your body that's hurting. That way you cover your entire body and what you need to deal with as well. So this is how you use this device. And once you learn about this device, there's a lot of ways that you can participate in this journey. Like number one, in a really fundamental way, use it. We're going to be talking to Mr. Andrew Ma, who has been a user of this device and has found his way into the Prime International journey, where he has then started sharing his experience being a product sharer and then has started to venture into building the business as well. So we're going to be talking to Mr. Andrew Ma about his experience, where I've been asking him to talk about his iTeraCare experience, but also as the cherry on the cake, share his experience as a business builder and a leader as well. So this device is available around the world in over 80 countries and regions. So whoever sent you this link, wherever they are, you can get this device. It has been approved to be sold around the world. We've been selling it for 4 years, and there could be a lot of devices that claim to do similar things, but we have the original patented terahertz emitter from the guy who invented it, who's certified by the Chinese Institute of Sciences. Like we have 4 years of testimonials behind it. So I hope you get the original device and I hope you use the original device for the benefit of your health. So, without wasting much time, I am super excited to introduce to you our sharer for this week, Mr. Andrew Ma. Andrew, thank you so much for joining me on the call today.
And very much thanks to you also for inviting me for this session. Yeah, we've spoken for quite a while, isn't it, before I got on board today.
Mhm.
Yeah, hi everyone. I hail from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. You see now it's an evening sunset, but basically it's at night in Malaysia. So for y'all all over the world, it's good evening, good afternoon, good mid morning, and good morning. Okay, so welcome. Thanks for being here. So today, I just want to share with you my journey in iTeraCare. This started actually in 2024 when my dad, in his 80s, fell very ill. He was so ill to the point that when he ate something small, even a little bit of amount, he started vomiting, and he had this incredible sense of imbalance. He would fall irregularly, and we as a family we thought that it was probably he's coming to his end of days, but I refused to give up. So immediately I went into Google. I think that was sometime in early 2024, and I searched in Google non-invasive, non-consumable device to help rebuild health. I think that's what I typed, in the search. And boom, it came out with about 4 or 5 recommendations. Interestingly, all those recommendations are very US based. And my goodness, they were expensive products. It's all in US dollars. And one of them was a product named H. Okay, so I wouldn't want to name names. H. Now, a lot of these electronic products, when they put a lot of technology in, they would have also that sort of deep connection with your handphone. You got to switch on your Bluetooth and so on. So you can imagine now, if I were to take up anything that has got very, very high technology built in, at the end, the healing side is not so important. It's more of, can you solve the technology problem before the healing starts? So eventually I went into YouTube to look at the product names, and saw the practitioners around the world, especially from US, UK, and also Australia. And they were showing those other products other than price products, but invariably a few of them, and they swore, they swore on their videos, is that like, right now we are using like the Porsche price wise, okay, of healing products. And these are all technology devices which are frequency based. But at the end, they said you must still come back to the fundamental. And they would flash a red device across the screen. And that turned out to be our series, the Classic. And interestingly, they didn't show anything on those devices, on Prive devices, but one of them put the device so close to the screen, to the camera, that I saw the brand name. And when I typed the brand name, I said, oh my God, it's a Malaysian company. It's manufactured or distributed in Malaysia. Next day, I got the address, the phone number. I called 2 of my friends, husband and wife from Australia. They were in KL at the time. They said, please follow me. I'm going to go to this company based in Cheras, that's in Kuala Lumpur, and let's find out what exactly, why are they being mentioned all over the world by practitioners, health practitioners. So I went down, so 3 of us, and one office personnel came out in lab coat. I said, like, oh, this is an office, but someone coming out in a lab coat, right? And then she proceeded to describe how the product works, the iTera, and how you would like point it to the body and effect the healing. So Ian, my friend, said that, okay, this is very interesting, but can you like show us a demo? And she said, sure. And we were led into this room that has got this medical bed, right? So it became stranger to me, because here you go, it's like I'm not visiting a hospital, I'm in an office with a medical bed. So Ian went onto the bed, and he was facing up to the ceiling, and the staff asked, what is it that you want to treat? Oh, I've got this numb leg. It was the right leg that is constantly numb. So she brought out a device, and it turned out to be the Pro series. And she kind of like waved across his leg for about 15 minutes. To me, it was a little bit of an amusement, okay, because nothing was contactable to the skin, but it was just like shooting a hair dryer onto his leg. That night, Ian called me and said, Andrew, guess what? I am feeling my legs again. The numbness has partially gone. I said, what? So next day, I went back to the office to have a second round of discussion. And straight away, 2024 was the launch of the Purple series called the Premium Plus. I went straight for that. And they had a promotion, something like buy 3, free 1. I bought all 4. Okay. So out of pure desire to heal my dad, I bought 4. And straight away, I went back, 3 in the car, 1 I took back home, and I treated my dad. Progressively, he got better. Progressively. So it wasn't immediate because I was also a newbie in how to dispense the treatment. And over time, I used it on family members, on my sister, myself, and myself is another story. In 2023, I suffered a humongous backache that would appear every time when I woke up from my sleep. It would take me easily 15 minutes to get up from the bed because my back was just scrunching. And I don't know, someone told me it's like, it's as bad as you getting pregnant, you know? Right? Okay, so I had a wand now. I treated my back. In 5 days, my almost, you would say, permanent back pain disappeared. 5 days. So I thought that was a fluke, okay? And how I would treat was I would sit with my legs over the bed, hanging from the bed, and I have pillows behind me. I'll put the wand and switch it on. So I would just sit with the wand blowing into my back. And I did it in the morning for about 15 minutes. I did it in the evening, 15 minutes. And in the 5th day, it was mostly gone. I thought that was fluke. Okay, mind over matter thing, right? The belief system hasn't kicked in yet. And I use it further on my badminton elbow. Yeah, it was bad because playing badminton regularly also meant that I would twist a tendon too much. That went off in 3 days' time. So I said, second fluke. All right. And then I had also frozen shoulder. At that time, when I did my treatment for the elbow, that went off the next day. So I said, okay, this can be happening or this can't be happening. So I was like denying myself the believability of it. So meanwhile, my dad had stopped using the device. And finally, the switch to believing it was I had a toothache 2 days before a major festival, and I didn't want to go to the to a dentist. No, 2 days before a festival, I would be eating a lot during a festival itself. So I used this book, The Blowing Guide. Can you see the Blowing Guide? Okay, this is available from the headquarters. So it's a booklet that shows how to and how to use the device and where to shoot on your body, to blow on your body. So for toothache, you would open your mouth and you blow it directly onto the affected tooth. And also on the arm, there's a meridian that links, to the oral cavity. 10 minutes is blowing into my mouth, the toothache, the pain, the pulsating pain reduced significantly. Okay, so I thought that was good. I can think clearly again. And towards the afternoon or early evening, I did it again because I felt that the throbbing was coming back. So I did the treatment on my tooth again, and the pain was gone. It was, I would say, like 90% gone. Next day, I woke up trying to imagine whether I would have a throbbing pain in my jaw. Not only my toothache did not come back, my sinus of the left nose, which plagued me for 7 years, my left nostril could breathe normally again. So I had a double healing during that time. And from there, I made it a point, okay, if I had been careless about my health, we always think that we will out survive our health, right? Yeah, we always think that. But as we grow older, health shouldn't be taken for granted. So with those sort of 4 stories I had for myself, I took the 3 wands in my car. I went out to talk to everyone that I could see. And you can imagine, if you are first dealing with a product and try to do demonstration, there are a lot of touch and go, hits and misses, but I got better with time because I didn't want to let the fear of selling a device like this be overpowering my sense of like adventurousness. So every day was an adventure to me. I went out, talked to people about it, and they asked what it is. I had to learn what is this terahertz, how to describe the product. And we have got 6 products now, 6 of the iTeraCare series. How I positioned at that time 4 of them according to their budget. So the cheapest is the classic, which goes at 300 US. And I bought those 3. I finished selling them off in a week. 3 Premium Plus finished in a week. I went to the office and it kicked off the next month, promotion again. I bought more and more and more. So today, 2.5 years in the business, I would say that I'm very blessed that I can position it quite well. I think I've sold no less than 25 Premium Plus already and no less than 20 Classic, including one iTera Pro, one BioLite, and right now I would say that I own everything, including the latest MagnoSeek, right? So I think my healing journey is because it was driven by pain of my dad and later my own pain, which I solved. So when you do this more often on the road, you would find that there's an ease of talking about the products. And there are sometimes that I didn't even bring any products in my car. I would just have the booklet shown to them and say, like, this is how you cure your diabetes. I wouldn't say cure, okay, this is how you relieve your diabetes. This is how you relieve your high blood pressure. And I show them, and they would now immediately place the order, right? I will bring a device to them. So I would say, like, starting this business, any business would always be met with resistance, but you will get better when you go along. So I would say that, if I were to introduce this iTeraCare series or even any products from Thrive, I would say that there are 3 things that you have to employ or to think about when it leads to healing. Number 1, there has to be a prayer. You got to pray yourself that you will heal and trust the due process with it. Prayer. Number 2, you got to have patience. If, for example, your diabetes took decades to develop, don't expect the device to cure you in weeks or even months. It might take a year or 2, right? But sometimes the prayer component is very important because, if the person just wants to be healed so much, the length of healing is foreshortened. And the third one is power. Of course, we use the devices we plug into a power point. So with these 3 Ps, you can kind of like set the stage that it is not a miracle device. It is a device that used consistently will bring healing to the body. Yeah. So with that, I'm not pressured to say, like, can you guarantee me whether this product works? No, I don't guarantee. But I will say that you will get a measure of relief if you're consistent using this product, right? So today, I have come to the stage where I've built downlines in some parts of the world, mostly from Malaysia and Singapore. I've also have one from USA, and I'm already speaking to another person from Romania. So again, my international foray will take time, yeah, because I've got to think about logistics on how do they get their products from which distributor or stockist over in their country and so on. But again, I say that when Prive keeps on opening branches around the world, it is easier for that location to service a region around them. Yeah. So before I kind of like conclude this, I've healed. This time I can say I healed. Okay, I've healed quite a number of people along the way. I feel a 96-year-old lady who suffered from severe eczema. I've never seen severe eczema. If you can imagine, you have a red lipstick, pink lipstick, brown lipstick, and black lipstick. You dot all over the body. She had that skin. It was almost checkered and peppered all over her arms, all over her legs. She was 96 years old. Many doctors would have said, given up, no steroids, whatever. I went there. Hello, Kitty. I went there to a home invited by my friend who was a daughter. I used the Premium Plus. I treated her one round, 10 minutes on one arm, 10 minutes on the other arm, 10 minutes on the leg, on each leg, right? So it's about 40 minutes. My intention was, Auntie, I will try my best to get rid of this current problem of yours. That was in my mind. Okay, so a bit of my energy was also coming out because I wanted it so. And after that, I had a 10-minute rest. This time I did a 5 minutes on each limb. That was day one. Day 5, I came to do the same round of treatment. And then day 11, I was invited to their home for Christmas. Day 11 shocked me because the mother walked up to me, held out her arms. Her arms were completely spotless. No sign of eczema at all. And I was shocked. Okay, I was truly, truly shocked. I asked her, what happened? What happened? You know, she said, I don't know. And I turned to my friend, Margaret, what happened? Margaret said, nothing changed. In other words, there were no steroid creams being used. The diet hasn't changed. There were no consumables, no vitamins. The only difference was your wand. Your wand. And till today, 1.5 years later, till today, the eczema never recurred. So is this a permanent cure? I would say permanent cure. So blessed, no? I'm so blessed to be part of this journey of my friend and her mother. My friend, of course, bought the device, right? To put it still, to be permanently in the home. Second story, the last story I'm going to share, is one of my friends. She was an asthmatic for 20 years. So she bought the device to treat her ankle. Ankle was constantly swelling because she's in sales. She would stand up for 15 hours. And on the first day itself, the swelling went down tremendously. And eventually the swelling became like it didn't come as often. And until today, she would comfortably be able to stand for 15 hours a day. So I told her, Helen, why don't you use it on other parts of your body? So she started using on the hair, and guess what? She reported to me in all capital letters in the message. Her baby hair was starting to grow on the scalp. Okay, that's one. But the most tremendous healing that she got was she was using, to blow on the face to tighten the skin and so on. And one morning, she wrote to me, almost screaming in that message. She said, Andrew, 20 years as a sufferer of asthma, I have got long-term inhaler. I've got a short-term inhaler. I've got to use it, so often that I can't do without them. That particular morning itself, she forgot to use them because she was breathing normally through her two noses, through her two nostrils. Okay. Until today, her asthma will only come in once in a while. Huh? If you can imagine a bad asthma, it is having a tissue paper always in your hand because your nose is just discharging over and over again. Now she irregularly uses the tissue. So here I am sharing the story, live on the ground. I think it's worth it. Just go out there. And one of the things that I really tell myself, what am I going to do today if I've got a lot of free time? In my mind, built into it is I'm going out there to heal someone. I don't care whether they hear me or not. I just want to push my idea through. And I think that has gotten me a lot of sales in this. So my belief system has already come up top level, right? Okay, thank you very much. Q&A.
Such a wonderful sharing, Andrew. Thank you so much for all of those stories. It was actually very inspiring. Uh, I'm going to open it up. If anyone has any questions, they can ask it in the chat. But I have a question. So when you talk about the iTeraCare to someone, how do you introduce it and how do you recommend that they use it?
Okay. When I meet up with someone, especially if it's total stranger, the normal icebreaker would be a smile and say, "Hi, what are you doing here?" And I'll meet people out like in a food court or someone. And then we go into the niceties. Oh, it's nice weather and so on. And then I'll open up. Do you have pain in your body? That's my ice point conversation breaker. It's a strange question to them, but are willing to share straight away. They say, yeah, I have pain in my shoulder, I have pain in my hips, and so on. Oh, how long have you had this pain and why this pain? Then they'll tell me a little back history of that. Straight away, guess what in my bag? I have the iTera in my bag. I said, hey, it so happened that I've got this device. Can I do some, like treatment, non-invasive? It's a 5-10 minute, and they will be curious to say, like, here I am coming out with a hair dryer, finding a plug point in the cafe, and doing my stuff. So that would immediately open up the doors. And then I will show the blowing guide booklet, and I'll tell them this booklet is a compilation of body problems which can be solved and hopefully, can be addressed by this wand itself. And within half an hour, the positioning will be done. Yeah. Sometimes the purchase is not on the spot, but because the trust is there, they will say, can you come to my home? I've got a family member. Maybe I've got an elderly mother. I've got a husband who's constantly having a backache. When I go there, I got the opportunity to meet up with 2 or 3 more people. Yeah. Every time it's the same sequence.
And
Yeah.
in how they use the product after they buy it, how do you recommend that they use it? Do you go with the 10 points or do you tell them something different with your
Yeah.
style?
Yeah. Okay. The 10 points, I'm kind of lazy. Okay. If I do a 10 points, it's very tough for me to convince you have to follow a 10 points. So I say that, okay, follow the page. If you have got, let's say, hemorrhoids, all right, follow this. Oh, that's all? I say, yeah, that's all. Just follow the instructions. It's the booklet for you to use, and I will show them. So sometimes it gets quite comical if you want to treat hemorrhoids. You have to lie yourself down, your legs as if you're in a pregnancy mode, and you put your wand. And it's a lot of fun for me to show that. So basically, I go on spot problems. Yeah. Only if they have enough time, especially those who are constantly at home, then they do the 10 points. Also, they can charge the water every day in a jug for the family to drink from.
Okay, very cool. I have a question here from Tess. Uh, when you dealt with the patient with the eczema, did you spray charge water or did you just use the blower?
just use the blower. Yeah. Also, when you're blowing, be very cognizant of the heat level. So every 1 minute, 2 minutes, I ask, how's the heat? Do you feel hot or do you feel warm or more than warm? If they can stand either of these settings, then keep at that setting. All right. So the charged water sometimes it's difficult unless I bring a spritzer and I spray across that. Yeah. So at that time, I wasn't equipped to do that. In fact, just normal blowing will do. And for sensitive skin, just get them to have a towel over the affected part. Blow through the towel because the iTera waves will go through, anything that is not wet. It will go through dry. And once it hit the blood vessels, it will start heating up from within.
Okay, cool. Fantastic. Thank you for that answer. Uh, I don't know if you have any questions. Virginia, I see you've unmuted. Do you have a question? I'm gonna take that as a no. Okie dokie. Cool, Andrew. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us. I think
Thank you,
it was
everyone.
actually very useful. We've got a lot of comments asking us to share the recording to them. I think this recording is going to start traveling around. So all the recordings are shared on the Prive International iTeraCare channel. So let me get that link for you. Okay. So this is the channel where we will be sharing it in our iTeraCare
Um,
channel. Okie dokie. So
Great. And
Andrew,
one
thank
more
you so
thing
much
before
for
we
sharing
leave.
your story with us. Go ahead.
Yeah. One more thing. Yeah. Prive
Uh-huh.
has got a Telegram channel called iElite Testimonials.
Mm-hmm.
If you can get hold of that, the person who invited you here, join that channel because that channel lists healing according to the body problems. So normally I'll get them to join the channel, look at a few videos before I visit them. If I know them, I'll get them to watch first and get some ideas so that they can ask me questions when I'm there treating them. Yeah.
It's a
Thank you.
really good idea to get them to join the Telegram channel before you meet them, actually. So there's another way, everyone, for all of us to do this. Andrew, would you have the link to the Telegram channel? If you could share it in this group, or sorry, in this Zoom, that would be great because I don't have my phone
Okay.
around me right now.
Hang on a second. Mugi, you got to keep talking a bit in order to
Okay.
break the silence while I find the Telegram link.
Okay, fantastic. So we're getting the Telegram link. So I do have something to share with all of you. Next week, my guest is someone who is very special. Hang on. Okay. So my guest next week is coming on my personal invitation to this talk. She is the talk next week will not be shared on YouTube and it like I main record it for myself, but I'm not going to share it on YouTube. So if you miss the talk next week, you're missing it. Like it's too late. Next week is also my birthday, so it's going to be a very special talk. The person sharing next week is a psychic. This person is a very intuitive, energetic healer and channeler. And this person has been using the iTeraCare as part of their deep energetic work on themselves and on other people, directly and remotely as well. This is one of the most unique use cases of the iTeraCare that I've ever heard of. And this person, as a channeler, as a psychic, charges 450 euros per hour to talk to her on Zoom. And out of as a favor to me, has agreed to come on this call and share her experiences using the iTeraCare from an entirely deep energetic perspective. So this is a very non-standard call because I know we usually talk about it in terms of the physical, biological effects that we deal with, that people explore. But if you have ever been interested on the deep energetic side of it, not just on a casual level, oops, but how someone can use the iTeraCare to protect themselves from dark energetic spaces, and what do we mean when we say to raise your frequency, and how you can raise your frequency enough to even channel your guides, and how you can find calmness in the space of energetic attacks using the iTeraCare for yourself, how you can use the iTeraCare aligned with an energetic way for you to perform energetic healing, not just to yourself, but to many people. Like, this is going to be a very, very, very special talk. So, like I said, because of the very esoteric subject matter, and I'm going to let her talk about all of her experiences, light and dark, it's not going to be shared on YouTube. So, if you're interested in this super esoteric side, be sure to dial in next week on the same call. So, Andrew, back to you. Thank you so much for your sharing words. I'm sorry I took a little bit extra time talking about my guest next week. Big shout out to all of Andrew's international friends tuning in for this call. And and please do share like your final closing statements. Go ahead.
I guess, a business can run if it's inspired by something, right? Mine was strangely inspired by pain or seeing other people in pain. So with that, once I got the modus operandi right, the pain became an SOP. Every day I knew what to do, right? And I run four businesses. So this is one of the businesses that run parallelly with the others. So I might be servicing a client on something, but during that conversation, iTera comes in because it's very easy to ask just one main question. Are you in pain? Yeah. Yeah. And friends don't tell you lies. No, I'm not in pain, but you see them wincing their face and all that. Okay. So you will have your own strategy how to open our conversation, and bravery. Get your heart out of your body when you go do a sales call, because every time you let fear come in as a wall between you and your client, nothing gets said. So just position yourself well, believe in the product, and you're able to close the deal.
Thank you so much, Andrew. That is actually a really fantastic sharing. I'm so happy with that. Your experience with the iTeraca is not just personal or to your family, but even in a way that you can summon your courage to ask such a simple question. Are you in any kind of discomfort, right? Like, to just ask that question to the people that you meet, and then from there, with one session, to actually solve their problem. Like, I'm sure there are a lot of people that consider meeting Andrew in their life to be a godsend because you've just helped to solve their problems so much. Thank you for all that you do, and thank you for agreeing to share your story here. So we have
Thank
come to
you.
the end of our call, and before we go, thank you all for being here. I would like to invite all of you, if you can, to just turn on your cameras so we can wave goodbye at each other and see each other's happy faces. Iviliana, I see you already. How's it going? Hi, William. Nice to see you. Rosemary, Noel, Marisol, and Dong Bontog. I see you. Hi, Ramesh. So nice to see you as well. And to everyone else in this call, thank you for joining us. Join us next week for a very special call that you don't want to miss. And I will see you. Goodbye, everyone. Bye
Bye.
bye.
Good night, everyone.
Big
Give out
hug.
your love to the world.
Give your love to
Bye.
the world. Bye bye.